Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Dear my students, grade 8, welcome back again. Let's go on and complete our unit 10 for the second term. This unit speaks about inventions and discoveries. In today's lesson, inshallah, we are going to study grammar and listening. Before we start here, we have an exercise. This exercise is grammar review. Here, you are going to change the following verbs into past tense. If you look here, we have two columns. The column on the left is about present simple, and the second one is about past tense. The first one here, we have four verbs. We want to change them into the past tense. I'd like verb 2. Take your time and tell me the past of these verbs. We have four verbs on the left. The first one is spread, cut, improve, drink. Okay? The first one is spread, the same like one, spread in the past. Okay, this one is an irregular verb. What about cut? That's right, the same. We don't change it, so cut. But what about the verb improve? That's right, we are going to add D and it becomes what? Improved. That's right. Okay, now let's move to the last verb here in this slide. Drink. What is the past of drink? Excellent, it's going to be drank. We have more verbs here. We have more verbs. Sell, invent, discover, make. Okay, what is the past of sell? Excellent, it's going to be what here? Sold, that's right. Invent, this one is regular. That's right, it's going to be invented. Excellent. Discover, well done. It's going to be discovered. What about make? Excellent, it's going to be made because this one is what here? Irregular verb. Now here, before we move to our lesson today, we have a question. The question says what here? What are the consequences of eating a lot of noodles? Do you remember this one? Consequences. That's right, we speak about results. Eating a lot of noodles can lead to obesity and high blood pressure. Do you remember the word obesity? That's right, when we speak about becoming fat. And also it leads to high blood pressure. So when someone eats lots of noodles, okay, he is going to suffer or she is going to suffer from obesity and high blood pressure. It may cause cholesterol and blood sugar, which increase the risk of heart disease and diabetes. The new word that we have, the word president. President. Trump was the president of the United States of America. President. President. He was in the past. The word president here, the title given to the person who has the highest political position in a country that is a republic. So when someone is a president, so he is the highest political one or person in the country. Let's move to page 78 here. Here we have a question. This question speaks about, that's right, paragraph number 4. I'd like you to look at paragraph number 4 here. You are going to read it, the last one, and answer the following question. It's a lead-in to our grammar lesson. Who made the chewing gum for the Mexicans? I'd like you to read fast paragraph 4 and tell me who made the chewing gum for the Mexicans. Take your time and then come back to tell me. Pause the video and then come back again. Let's check the answers together. Who made the chewing gum for the Mexicans? The Mexicans made the chewing gum for themselves. So here we have the word themselves. We are going to study today something which is called reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns. This is our grammar today. When we speak about reflexive pronouns, they are used to turn the action done by the subject of a sentence back to the subject. So this is called what here? Reflexive pronouns. So when we say reflexive pronouns, we return the action done by the subject of a sentence back to the subject. Like here, I was singing to myself. If you look here, the subject I, and here you have myself. Myself here turns to the subject, so this is called what? Reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronoun. Let's have more examples here. He is thinking to himself. If you look here, the pronoun he and the reflexive pronoun here, himself, turns to he. That's right. She is talking to, she, this one is a female. So she is talking to what here? Herself. So herself here is a reflexive pronoun for the pronoun she. Some more examples to understand the rule. Can I have another sandwich? Sure. Help yourself. Help yourself. So you are going to help yourself. Here, one person, singular. The fishermen caught the huge fish themselves. Themselves here, that's right, it turns back to the word the fishermen. Fishermen here is a plural word. Okay, the pronoun from it is what here? They. So they becomes what? Themselves. That's right. Well done. Look at this table. This table, we want to complete it. We want to write here the reflexive pronouns and the subject pronouns. Take your time to answer this one. Now, let's do it together. I becomes what here? Myself. That's right. What about you? But the singular form. Excellent. It's going to be yourself. That's right. He, this one is a male person. So it's going to be what here? Himself. What about herself for female? That's right. The subject is going to be she. Well done. And itself, I hear some students say it correctly. It's going to be it. What about we? That's right. It's going to be ourselves. What about you here in the plural form? Excellent. Yourselves. And the last reflexive pronoun that we have, themselves. What is the subject pronoun? That's right. It's going to be they. So here, this is the table of the subject and the reflexive pronouns. Now you have it again. Study this one and try to go with me to the next slides. Now let's check your understanding. Here we have 4 sentences. We want to complete them using the subject and reflexive pronouns. Okay? Now let's check your understanding. Here we have 4 sentences. We want to complete them using the reflexive pronouns. Number 1, you can walk to school by. You have to look at the first word here, you. So you becomes what here? You can look at the table on the left down. The second sentence, the president, we have a space here, came to our school. Third one, my sister made a delicious cake by my sister. So my sister, this is she. So it's going to be what? It's an easy one. The last one, I did the homework by, he says I. So becomes what here? That's right. Let's go and check them together. The first one here, if you are going to look at it, you becomes what? That's right, yourself. So the sentence becomes you can walk to school by yourself. The president. President is a singular word and it's male. So it's going to be what? Himself. Well done. So the president himself came to our school. 3. My sister made a delicious cake by. My sister, this one is a female and she becomes what? Excellent. Herself. The last one, I did the homework by. Here we have I. So it's going to become what? That's right. It's going to be myself. So I did the homework by myself. Let's move here. We are going to practice speaking. We have 4 speaking skills here. If you want to improve your speaking skills, you have to be careful about your fluency, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Here, I'd like you in pairs to choose an invention and try to discuss the following questions. Here we have 4 questions. I'd like you to look at them. The first question here, why was it invented? Try to tell me the invention or tell your Partner, why was it invented? The second one, who uses it? Who uses it? And how did it change our lives? How would you like to improve it? Try to choose an invention and try to discuss these questions with your friend. Move to our next exercise. We are going to practice listening. But before we start listening, we have a new word. The new word that we have here is mainly. Mainly. The example says what here? Cheetahs are mainly found in Africa. Cheetahs are mainly found in Africa. The most popular Kuwaiti traditional dishes are mainly rice and either meat, chicken, or fish. So, what does the word mainly mean? Mainly means usually, mostly, chiefly, or to a large degree. So, this is called what here? Mainly. Now, I'd like you to go to your student's book, page 79. Open this page and go with me. Here we are going to practice listening together, but be careful with me. I'd like you to sort the following inventions according to their importance to you. If you look here, we have some inventions. I'd like you to sort them. Write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Which one is the most important for you? Which one is the second? Yes, that's right, important for you. And which one is the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth? The last one. Okay, take your time and write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Take your time. You have here 6 inventions. You have electric light, you have the fridge, television, car, internet, computer. Which one is the most important for you? Pause the video, you can write them, and then come back again to go with me to the next exercise. Okay, this is the same. You are going to sort them. Now we are going to move to our listening exercise. You are going to listen to the dialogue which took place between Nada and Fatima many years ago. So we are going to speak about something that happened in the past. And you are going to fill in the table with what they thought were the 5 most important inventions. So they spoke about the 5 most important inventions and they have written the reasons about their choices. Okay, now you are going to listen and write. Be careful and try to write them down in their correct places.
Okay. What do you think were the 5 most important inventions in the last 200 years?
The 5 most important? Well, I think one of them has to be the computer, because we use computers for everything.
I agree.
So what about the second invention? What do you think?
I think it's the fridge. It was a fantastic invention. Fridges allow us to keep our food cold. It has changed our lives and improved our health.
I see what you mean. And without fridges, we wouldn't have ice cream.
That's right. So, what about the third invention?
Nuclear power?
No. I think there are too many disadvantages.
Yes, I agree. What about the radio?
Well, I think the radio was more important than the television.
I don't agree. I think TV is more important than the radio. We can see things happening all over the world.
Well, that's true, I suppose. I would rather live without the radio than the TV.
Me too. And I think the 4th most important invention is the internet. It's an amazing source of information.
I agree. And it's free for everyone.
Great. So the 5th one is...
the electric light.
I'm not sure. The car has changed our lives too.
Come on, Nada. What would you do without light?
Okay, now let's go and check the answers together. The first one, they have spoken about the computer. and the reason here because it's used for everything. Second one, fridge, the reason it keeps food cold. 3, we have the TV, and the reason why? Because we see things happening all over the world. That's right. What about number 4? Excellent. Internet. Why? Because it's a source of information. What about the last invention? Electric light. Why? Because it lightens places at night. So here we have the 5 inventions and we have the 5 reasons for the 5 inventions. Let's move to the next here. If you met Nada and Fatma today, what would you tell them about today's 5 most important inventions? Okay, and how about in 2050, like after many years from now? What would you do? What would you tell them about today's most 5 inventions? Okay, try to think and you can write them down in the comments below. Now we are going to move to a grammar lesson that we have here. We are going to speak about quantifiers. When I say the word quantifiers here, we have the word a few, a little, many, and much. Okay? When we speak about a few, it's a quantifier. Quantifier here, when we speak about some, a small amount, and we use it with countable nouns, something that we can count. But when we come to a little, it means, yes, that's right, a small amount, but uncountable. Like here, let's do some examples to understand the rule. The first one on the left here, he has a few friends that will help. If you look here, a few, the word that comes after the word a few, the word friends, and the friends here is a countable noun. So here we have a positive idea, a small amount, but it's a countable word. Next one, I have a few days off next month. If you look here at the word a few, what is the word that comes next? That's right, the word days. And here the word days is a plural word. The last one on the left, she has won a few awards. And the same like the 2 previous examples, the word awards here is countable noun and it's plural one. But what about the word a little here? When we have the word a little here, it has a positive idea, but when we speak about uncountable nouns, like the first example, I have a little milk you can use. If you look here that we have the word milk, we cannot count the word milk. So we cannot use a few here, we have to use what? A little, that's right. She has a little time to relax now. The word that comes after a little here, what is the word? Time. And time here, countable or uncountable? Okay, it's uncountable. What about the last example? I have earned a little extra money. The word money, can we count the word money? We cannot count the word money, so it's uncountable noun. So we cannot use a few here, we are going to use a little. Next one here, we have much and many. The same. Much and many are mainly used in negative sentences and questions. They are not common in affirmative sentences, positive ones, though still possible. Much is used with uncountable nouns, but many is used with plural countable nouns. Much here, as we have said, plus uncountable nouns, but many plural countable nouns. Let's read the examples about much. I don't have much time. If you look here, the sentence is negative. As we have said, we are going to use much, many in the negative and the questions. Negative and what here? Questions. But if you have uncountable word, you are going to use what? Much. And if you have plural countable one, you are going to use what? Many. Excellent. The second one, he doesn't need much money. We have the word doesn't need here. This is a negative sentence, and we have the word money. So this one is uncountable. We are going to use much. The last one, does it use much electricity? This is a question. So we are not going to use what here? A lot of. You are going to use much or many. Here you have to look at the word that comes after much. What is the word? Electricity. So it's going to be what here? Much, because the word electricity is uncountable. Let's read the examples about the word many. There aren't many chairs in the room. Here we have the word chairs, it's a plural one. And we have aren't, so the sentence is negative. We are going to use many. Next one. I don't have many friends. We have the word friends. It's a plural countable word. So you are going to use many. The last one. Do you think many people will go? It's a question here. And we have the word people. So we are going to use the word many. Here, this is a brief about what we have said. You can look at this slide, take your time, and then come back to do some exercises. Here, as we have said, many, a few. Let's summarize what we have said. Many, a few, plus a countable noun. Like there are a few books about the history of inventions in our school library. Much and a little, an uncountable noun. Like I save a little money every month. Much is mainly used in negative sentences and questions. Many, a few. We use them before the countable nouns. There are a few books. If you look here, we have the word books. So you are going to use many or a few. But the sentence here is a positive one. It's affirmative. Excellent. You are going to use what here? A few. Because we have said before, many we use it in the negative and question. There are a few books about the history of inventions in our school library. A few. Next one, much and a little, plus an uncountable noun. I save a little money every month. We have the word money here, and the sentence is an affirmative one. So you are going to use what here? A little. A little. Much is mainly used in what? As we have said before, excellent, negative sentences and questions. Negative sentences like, I don't have much time. Questions such as, does it need much electricity? Much electricity. Now I'd like you to watch the video and then do the exercise below. Down you have an exercise. You are going to fill in the table with words from the list. You have a group of words here. You are going to write them in their correct places. You have the word a few and the word a little. Okay, watch the video and then do the exercise below. check your answers here. But remember that the word a few, we use it with countable nouns and a little with uncountable nouns. Take your time and try to do them. Let's check the answers together. Now let's check the answers here. A few, a little. You have the word butter, you are going to write it in the, that's right, a little. What about shoes? Excellent. It's going to be, that's right, in the countable column. So here you are going to write what here with the word a few. What about money? Can we count the word money? That's right, so it's going to be with a little. What about months? That's right, it's going to be with a few. What about photos? It's a countable word, so it's going to be here with a few. What about sand? Can we count sand? That's right, we cannot count sand, so it's going to be with a little. What about milk? Excellent, we cannot count milk, so it's going to be with what here? A little. The word rice is written. The last one, dinars. Can we count dinars? 1 dinar, 2 dinars, and so on. That's right, a few dinars. Now, go with me to page 80. Here, I'd like you to complete the following sentences with a few, a little, much, or many. Try to read the 4 sentences and try to complete them, but be careful when you answer them. Take your time and then come back to check your answers with me. Let's check your answers. The first one, I haven't got time. We will have to talk fast. If you look here, we have the word time. Can we count time? That's right, we cannot count the word time. So you're going to use what here? Excellent, much. So I haven't got much time because the sentence is a negative one. Number 2, there will be rain this week. Rain, rain. He says rain here. Can we count the word rain? Excellent, we cannot count the word rain. And here we have a positive sentence, so it's going to be a little. A little. Number 3, I have space close friends. It's hard to find a true friend. Here we have the word friends, friends, and it's a plural one. And the sentence here is affirmative one. Excellent, it's going to be a few. So I have a few close friends. It's hard to find a true friend. Number 4, there aren't extra chairs. Chairs, the word is countable, but the sentence is a negative one. So there aren't, it's going to be many. Excellent. There aren't many extra chairs in our classroom. We need more. Thank you and see you inshallah in the following videos.